Hello there. All right, Lorena Carr here. I'm already throwing things around. Lorena Carr here. We're going to do an overall reading for February 2022. Let's see what Spirit wants us to know. What's for our greatest and highest good. All right, so let's see what's happening. And if you haven't looked at January's from, last month, make sure you go back and watch that and see what resonated. See what, how you kind of moved through there. There was a lot of information in that reading, so make sure you're going back and checking it out. Okay, now let's see what Spirit wants us to know for February 2022. What do we need to know? And remember, actually, no matter when you're seeing this, is when it should resonate. So it may be February 2023. Maybe when you see it is when you're supposed to see it, because maybe it'll validate something. Maybe it will give some clarity to a situation you went through, and hopefully just validate the spirits with you. Okay, first up for February 2022, we've got the Page of Swords. Pages are learners, students, students of things like sciences, math, very logical things. Maybe you're applying to medical school. I don't know. Let's see though. Let's see what goes along with that. Five of Swords. Okay. So, and how I'm going to do this is, recent past, maybe kind of identifying what's been going on with you a little bit. In the present, you got Five of Swords, which is conflict. So maybe you've got a child who's a little too logical for their own good and is creating a conflict. Okay. Or maybe either way, swords are conflict and swords are cutting things away that no longer work for you. Let's see what goes with that. We've got the Six of Wands. Now this is good. Okay, so this is a sense of winning. Six of Wands is all about victory and seeing the good in things and feeling like, okay, I came through all this garbage and we had all this conflict and we're winning. Now, winning can be a relative term, when you've got this conflict of this conflict, and a lot of times this is cutting down, but at the same time, it's also learning lessons. And when we cut away things and we're learning hard lessons, sometimes we have to cut away things that aren't working, that tend to either sabotage us or things just, not working out for us. But when we move into the space of the sixes, that's harmony. Sixes are harmony and balance, and balancing and learning from whatever this was that we had to go through. And again, January was kind of an interesting month, coming out of that and going into what's next. Okay, so you had all this conflict, and now there's a balancing coming. Or maybe as you move into this month, you're noticing, oh, there's like some conflict here. How do you get on the other side of that? Advice is Seven of Wands. Okay, so the Seven of Wands, by the way, how cool is that card? Look at that dragon. Ooh, so cool. It's my Celtic dragon deck. So with the Seven of Wands, this is kind of standing your ground, keeping your defenses up. I don't feel like it's in a bad way, but you do want to protect yourself. And sometimes when you're around, this is a good example too. If you're around toxic people, which we all are, it's part of life. We have to deal with toxic and non-toxic people, right? So when you're around toxic people, sometimes you have to protect yourself energetically. Okay, so you have to allow yourself to raise energetically above them, not because you are above them, but you have to kind of move out of their negative space into your own healthier space so you can look down and see a situation for what it really is. And when you energetically protect yourself, it's easier to see a situation for what it really is. If you can do that, if you can protect yourself, even if it's from a cold or being sick, maybe you had, you've been around kids, maybe you're a science teacher, you're around kids and they're all like sick and coughing all over you, but you come out on the other side, okay, you manage to get through it, okay, and you have to protect yourself with some vitamin C and some airborne, okay? Let's see how the outcome is. King of Wands. See, if you can move through this and avoid all the sick people, then you are winning and you are going to feel like you have all the power in the world. Okay, you're going to be able to get back to being a strong leader, and people will look to you. So that's actually a really good example of the teaching analogy. That's a really good example. I need to keep that in mind because I'm a dance teacher, so I'm around like filthy, sweet, darling children that pick their noses and hug and wipe slimy things all over things. So maybe there's, with COVID and all that we've got going on, maybe there is some conflict that might be coming, but hopefully we can move through it and feel like we're winning in a situation and keep our defenses up. And in a COVID world, keep your mask on if you need to. And you're going to come out okay. You're going to come out, looking pretty good through all this, feeling pretty good through all this. Let's see what kind of angel energy goes with that. What do we need to know for the energy of this month of February? What archangel energy are we going to bring to the table here? Let's see. 2 of Ariel. It's important to have balance, working multiple jobs or projects at once, making work fun. So this is very similar to the 2 of Pentacles, like juggling things, but also, having to balance things. So make sure you're having balance there. So if we're tying all this together, it's important to have balance so you don't get run down, so you don't get sick, so you don't get overwhelmed and deal with anxiety and depression. Okay. And look at that. Look at, he's standing on one hand, just joyful, joyful, joyful. It's such a pretty picked card, actually. I don't know if I've used this one yet. So make work fun. Make work, again, going back to the teacher analogy. Are you a teacher in a classroom? How can you make it fun and engaging and keep their minds off of things that are conflictual? All right. What are we going to celebrate with all this? Okay. Let's see. What are we going to celebrate in the month of February 2022? Or whenever you see this. Intuition. Oh, hey, yes. So going back to the 7 and 6 of Wands, winning, victory, keeping your defenses up. Intuition. The King of Wands is someone who is very intuitive. And so celebrate this intuition. If you know, something's up and you're just like, I don't feel good about this. Maybe you're going to a party or you're going to a celebration and you're just like, I don't know how I feel about this. Using COVID as an example, maybe I should go ahead and mask up, or maybe I shouldn't go. Or, just make sure you're really listening to your intuition, because your intuition is going to be pretty high right now, especially with this knowledge of the conflict coming, conflict in the way, that for sure you can move through as long as you are protecting yourself. You've got to protect yourself. Make sure you're protecting yourself from getting sick, from energetic and spiritual attack, any kind of negativity. And this makes me feel like it could very well be work related. Okay. What's happening at work with you? Finding that balance there. So, all right. So that is February 2022. And I hope you find this useful. Please, let me know if you resonate with this, how it works out. You don't need to tell me your life story necessarily, but if you want to, I'm not going to be mad about it. But I'd love to hear how this resonates for you and how it works out for you. All right. Have a fantastic month, and I'll see you in March. Bye.